Today we're going to test out two budget-friendly Canon to Sony smart adapters. And what better way to test that than with my 70-200 taking some squirrel photos. Let's do this. First things first, is starting to get a little chilly here in North Carolina, which is great because you have hoodie weather. This is the first hot coffee I have packed for myself in months. Cheers. Missed that. So switching over to a new Sony body recently got me thinking it might be a good idea to talk about adapters. Honestly, buying a new body is in and of itself expensive, so converting your lenses that you have now is going to save you a lot of money, which is why a lot of people will start by adapting some of their Canon lenses if they switch to Sony. And so that's one reason for adapted lenses. Why smart adapters? Well, one, autofocus, but modern lenses, for the most part, you do not set the aperture on the lens itself. The smart adapters will give you the ability to set the aperture on the camera. And so that's first, why smart adapters. Now, if you want to save some money, you really want to go budget, check out some just basic EF to NEX adapters, and I'll put a link to some below that I've used before. But again, you're going to be setting your aperture. There's not going to be autofocus. And honestly, if you have a Canon lens that has image stabilization, you're not going to transmit that as well, which is a very important factor when we're talking about these two adapters. Today we're going to be testing with the Commlite smart adapter, and we're going to test that against the Fotodiox Pro Fusion, both EF to NEX. We're going to test autofocus for photo and for video, as well as how it transmits image stabilization. What's up? Future Anson here. I didn't really like how the field test went this morning, so I'm back in the studio and I'm whispering a little bit because kiddo is down for a nap. Don't want to disturb that. So we're gonna do a little bit of a field test comparison again, just with the autofocus for both stills and for video. Standing waiting by the field. I better bring up the gun. I better bring up the thunder. Start firing. I'll let you be the pressure again. That you're believing a lie. That you're believing a lifetime losing it. Lifetime losing it. Lifetime losing it. All right, back to past Anson or present Anson. Back to this morning. I just ran from one end of the park to here because I realized I left one of the adapters over there. I'm out of shape. Whew. So let's talk about some specifics. The Commlite is more of like a metal structure, so it feels more sturdy, whereas the Fotodiox Pro feels a little bit more plasticky. The mount's plastic, whereas the mount on the Commlite on both sides is metal. The mount on the Canon side is metal here, but the Sony side is plastic. Other things to consider is reliability. I have used the Fotodiox Pro a lot on projects. When you switch shooting profiles, it tends to not transmit the IS. Sometimes you have to turn off the camera, turn it back on. I have heard that completely it won't transmit anything and you have to turn it off, turn it back on. I haven't really had that issue with the Commlite. So yeah, those are some things to think about. Whew. I'm gonna go sit down for a minute. So to wrap this up, what are my thoughts on these two smart adapters? Well, I would say if autofocus is what you're looking for, the Fotodiox Pro Fusion is probably gonna be a little bit better than the Commlite. But I thought actually with my a7iii both did pretty well with image stabilization. If you're doing manual focus and IS is more of a concern for you, I might check out the Commlite. If you have a little bit larger of a budget than even just the $100 marker, look at the MC11, the Sigma MC11. I only have one Canon lens and I don't really use it that often. Having something that was under $100 was beneficial for me. If you have a lot of Canon glass or you have a lot of Canon glass and you're getting paid for your projects, I would look into the Sigma MC11 or even a Metabones adapter. Those are gonna be a little bit more reliable, maybe even faster as far as autofocus. So definitely check those out. And again, I'll put some manual adapters. I'll put these in the description below, as well as a link to an MC11 and Metabones adapter. Again, all those links will be in the description below, and those will be affiliate links, just so you know. Those are my thoughts as far as these smart adapters. They're both decent smart adapters. Just depends on what you're looking for. You may go with the Fotodiox Pro or the Commlite. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Oh, and for the tally of squirrel photos, I think I've got a total of 1. Yeah, this trip was not successful. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you're digging the content if you're digging the content coming from the channel, consider subscribing, and I'll see you here next time. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. Peace. Right after I pressed record, there was a squirrel that just started taunting me right away. Let me see. You might be able to see it. He's right over here. He's just taunting me. Yep. All right, I've got to throw this lens on. We're gonna get these squirrels. Get it. I missed it. I literally grabbed my 7200 and it disappeared. They're like ninjas. Ninjas.